insights, picks, results. This is Wizard Sports Picks. Beyond the Lines.
Welcome to another edition of Beyond the Lines, presented by Wizard Sports Picks. For Friday, March 6th, Ian Cameron with you. March Madness is here. You gotta love it. One of the best times of the year in sports and for sports bettors. We've got regular season winding down, conference tournament action already underway with a lot of the mid-major conferences, and of course the NCAA tournament, Selection Sunday, all of that just a little over a week away. We cannot wait for that. Still NHL and NBA going on a daily basis, so there's plenty going on right now and many reasons to sign up and get on board with any of the great handicappers at wizardsportspicks.com. Get to the website and grab yourself some daily premium picks as well as a long-term all-sports subscription. We have 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, 1-year all-sports passes available with every handicapper on the website. It's been a great run for me. It continues to be a great run of consistent profits for me at wizardsportspicks.com. Number one in the NHL currently, a profitable NBA season, and an absolutely blistering run here in the month of March for me in college basketball, a run that has now gotten me to the top of the leaderboard in college basketball for the entirety of the season at wizardsportspicks.com. Yes, I am now the number one ranked college basketball handicapper at wizardsportspicks.com. It has been a phenomenal run, up over 15 units of profit this season in college basketball, and in the last 30 days it's been particularly good. So it's a great time to get on board. Join me for the entire month of March and get on board with daily premium picks and or a long-term subscription pass at wizardsportspicks.com. And a reminder as well, if you're not in the mood to or just not interested yet in purchasing any daily picks or a long-term pass, you can still go to the homepage, enter your email address, and get free picks sent to you on a daily basis to your inbox. All right, let's get into some Friday previews, and it's all college basketball on this edition of the show. In fact, Beyond the Lines for me for the majority of this month is going to be college basketball. That's going to take precedent. This is the month everyone's excited about, so it's pretty much going to be college basketball heavy for my Beyond the Lines shows here in the month of March. We're going to talk about a pair of conference tournament games coming up on Friday. We're going to start with an Atlantic Sun quarterfinal matchup. We've got the Stetson Hatters taking on Austin Peay. We've got Austin Peay 10.5, 11.5 actually in some spots, favorites in this game. The total sitting at 148.5 currently in this game. Again, this is the Atlantic Sun Tournament quarterfinal action. This game and really this whole tournament taking place at the Veterans Memorial Arena in Jacksonville, Florida, for this Atlantic Sun Conference Tournament quarterfinal matchup. Stetson Hatters, Austin Peay Governors. Austin Peay is one of the best teams in this conference. That's why they're a double-digit favorite. It's also why they got a bye to the quarterfinal round. Meanwhile, Stetson had to play a first-round game to get to this point. But boy, did Stetson look impressive, blowing out Eastern Kentucky, putting a big number on the board, scoring a whopping 92 points in that victory, shooting the ball extremely well. And this has been a Stetson team that has been, after a real rough start to the season, playing their best basketball mid-February and into March. And that's what you want to be doing at this time of year. You want to be peaking. You want to be playing your best at this time of year. And Stetson enters this game on a very strong 6-1 against the spread run in their last 7 games. They've covered 6 of their last 7 games. Yes, they're only 4-3 straight up during that span, but they have been a very competitive team. A couple of their losses were by single digits, a 2-point loss at Florida Gulf Coast, a 4-point loss at Jacksonville. They then turned around and beat Florida Gulf Coast by 15 in their regular season finale. And then, confidence obviously from that win, and wins have been hard to come by for Stetson in the ASUN this year. And they rolled with that momentum and confidence of that win over FGCU to end the regular season right into their first tournament game against Eastern Kentucky and really dismantled the Colonels. It was a hot shooting performance from Stetson and the kind of offense that could allow them to hang around here. If you look at Austin Peay, for as good as they've been down the this season, they stumbled late in the year. They failed to cover 4 straight to end the regular season in the Atlantic Sun, 0-4 ATS their last 4 games, and the defense really started to come apart for this Austin Peay team. They gave up 93 points in a loss to Central Arkansas and 111 points to Bellarmine in their final regular season game. So Austin Peay's defense has declined, and that's not good when you see the way Stetson has really picked things up at the offensive end of the court. So I think Stetson's going to be able to score points here against this Austin Peay team, but Austin Peay is very potent offensively. We've seen them score into the 80s and into the 90s in the vast majority of their Atlantic Sun Conference regular season games. You look at these two teams, they should both be able to have some offensive success here. But I think given the struggles of Austin Peay down the stretch and the fact Austin Peay has failed to cover in 4 straight, a clear sign of a potential overvalued commodity at this late stage of the regular season in contrast with Stetson, who have covered 6 of the last 7. I think this has the chance to be a closer game than people think. Stetson's been a competitive team down the stretch, and I wouldn't be shocked to see that continue Friday afternoon here in this Atlantic Sun quarterfinal matchup. So I'm going to give you 3 bets that I've placed in this game and will recommend here on this edition of Beyond the Lines for this game. I'm going to recommend Stetson plus 11.5, minus 110, and I will split that bet with Stetson team total over 70.5 because I want a part of this wager on the team total. A lot of times we'll see a team maybe at the end of the game with all that late fouling, the margin increases, the margin builds for the favorite. Maybe, let's say Austin Peay pulls away, wins by 13-14, but yet Stetson's still trying to score. There's no tomorrow. Your season's over if you lose this game. And teams could still get over their team total even if they don't cover the point spread. So I like to do that at this time of year, especially in conference tournament play, especially with an underdog and a big underdog. I don't just put the entire bet on the point spread. I like to split it up with the team total, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. So Stetson plus 11.5, along with Stetson team total over 70.5. And I'm also going to take the full game over, the over here, 148.5 minus 115. So 3 plays on this game. Stetson plus 11.5 minus 110. Stetson team total over 70.5 minus 110. And Stetson Austin Peay, the full game over 148.5 minus 115. Let's go to a SoCon, Southern Conference first round matchup next. We've got VMI, the Virginia Military Institute, Keydets, taking on the UNC Greensboro Spartans in a little Southern Conference first round matchup. UNC Greensboro in this one currently looking at them as a 7.5 point favorite, 155.5 the total. This game taking place at the Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville, North Carolina. One thing that's been a staple of my premium picks in college basketball on the website down the stretch, Greensboro overs. UNC Greensboro over the total. They have been a very high-scoring team, and it's a combination of things with this Greensboro team. They've been scoring pretty well, but they're not playing great defense. In fact, they haven't played really exceptional defense for the majority of the Southern Conference regular season. This is just not a very good defensive team. We've seen it on a consistent display throughout the course of the SoCon season. This is a Greensboro team that in their last regular season game against Samford, they gave up 87 points in a loss. They gave up 80 to Chattanooga, 87 to East Tennessee State, 91 to Western Carolina, 89 to Wofford. You catch my drift. They're giving up 80s, in a lot of instances, high 80s, and even in some cases, 90 points. They've given up basically no fewer than 87 points in 5 straight games, UNC Greensboro, entering this SoCon tournament matchup against VMI. So this is a team that clearly is having issues defensively, and as a result, they've been a heavy over team. They've gone over the total in 6 straight games. It's a 6-0 over run for UNCG coming into this tournament. Now, the one little fly in the ointment here is that VMI, sometimes offensively, they can go into droughts. They can go into scoring lulls. We've seen that in the past. We saw that, obviously, losses to Samford and Western Carolina, where they only scored 61 and 62 in those games. But they really haven't had as many issues scoring against Greensboro. Greensboro did blow them out. VMI, that is. Greensboro did win by double digits in both meetings this year against VMI. But VMI was still able to score into the 70s in both games. They put up 71 against Greensboro in the second meeting, and in the first meeting against against them. They put it up 78 points in the first meeting. So VMI still scored 78 and 71 against Greensboro in the 2 regular season meetings. Both of those games, by the way, flew over the total. Both of those games landing exactly on 163 points. So the early money has come in on the under here in this game. Greensboro's defense is bad enough that I think that VMI can have some success shooting the ball and scoring. The UNC Greensboro will score their points, though. They are a very efficient offensive team. And you look at VMI, they're also a big defensive concerns when it comes to the Keydets as well. VMI allowing 86, 80, 81, 82, 90, 92, and 87 in their last 7 conference regular season games entering this tournament, and they too have been trending over the total. VMI has gone 5-2 to the over in their last 7 games. So you put the 2 together, Greensboro 6 straight overs entering this game. VMI 5-2 to the over in their last 7 games entering this game. Both meetings between the Keydets and the Spartans in the regular season both got into the 160s with exactly 163 points. I don't know why the infatuation with the betting markets here for the under, because this total opened 158. It's down to 155.5. But all that does is open up value to buck that move and go the other way, because I think it's moving in the wrong direction. So let's go with VMI UNC Greensboro over 155.5 minus 110 in Southern Conference first round tournament action. That's going to be my last recommendation here for this Friday, March 6th edition of Beyond the Lines. Thanks for tuning in as always. Get to the website, wizardsportspicks.com. Hit the like button on the way out. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Ian Cameron. Enjoy the games and good luck on Friday with all your wagers. And thanks for tuning in to the Friday, March 6th edition of Beyond the Lines presented by Wizard Sports Picks.